The next moment, for reasons unknown, a crack resembling a black hole abyss appeared at the very center of the palace complex, carrying a devastating aura of supreme destruction, slowly spreading outwards. Wherever the abyss of the black hole extended, everything was completely devoured and wiped clean. Xiao, what should we do now? Two graceful figures flew forward one after the other, their breaths chaotic, clearly having consumed a great deal of reincarnation power during their struggle to seize the keys. Yun furrowed her brow, holding a huge blood-red stone knife in her hand. This immortal artifact was one of the keys to entering the main hall. However, even with both of them working together, they only managed to seize one key. That abyss, could it be the entrance? Xiaoyan's attention remained fixed on the black hole abyss. From the feedback of his soul power, including the Hell Flame Slave and the Sacred Flame, he could almost confirm that this was the entrance. You go ahead. Yuru gritted her teeth. A soft glow of moonlight radiated from her body, and she immediately dashed toward the outer world, escaping into the distance. Xiao. Yun hesitated for a moment, her gaze filled with uncertainty. The dangers contained within the black hole abyss made her uneasy. Go! Xiao suddenly took out the fragmentary map from within his body. Then, with Yun in tow, he flew directly toward the abyss. From the feedback of his soul power, it seemed that the entrance to the main hall lay below. Since the palace complex was collapsing, this was probably the last remaining route. Isn't this too risky? Her hand gripped by Xiaoyan's, a sense of security surged within Yun. However, gazing at the swirling black hole abyss below, she couldn't help but ask. That level of attack wasn't something that could be easily shattered. These are just illusions. Stay focused and use the immortal artifact key in your hand. After Xiao spoke, the two of them rushed into the abyss. Since Tang Feng hadn't seized the key, it was clear that the fragmentary map could also lead them inside. 2 fragmentary maps, plus 5 immortal artifact keys, meant that 7 people would fight for the last main hall. Whoosh whoosh. As they entered the black hole abyss, waves of scorching energy surged from all directions, the terrifying heat and bizarre forces relentlessly devouring their reincarnation power, causing Xiao to frown. Hoo-hoo. Having passed through the most troublesome part of the palace complex, Xiao and Yun seemed to be heading deeper into the abyss, both of them letting out a relieved breath. Xiao, what's that? Just as Xiao relaxed his guard, Yun suddenly yanked at the corner of his robe, a rare look of fear on her face. At the deepest part of the black hole abyss, countless fire slaves of various shapes emerged. They stood silently, glaring with fury, guarding an ancient portal. Damn it! A long-forgotten sense of dread filled Xiaoyan's heart. Even if they fought, these fire slaves, with their enormous numbers, would be incredibly difficult to deal with. What puzzled Xiao the most was that these fire slaves seemed to carry the aura of the sacred flame. Boom! As Xiao pondered, several figures flew swiftly past them, heading directly for the ancient portal, seemingly unaffected by the fire slaves. On the ancient portal, golden lines slowly etched themselves into a strange sigil. Every time Xiao and Yun glanced at it, the sacred flame within their bodies hummed and stirred, as if this sigil held some kind of special power, faintly exerting pressure on their sacred flame. Atop the portal, a handsome man dressed in a white robe sat quietly. His eyes were tightly shut, with no sign of energy fluctuations, but at the center of his forehead, a prominent orange-gold fire pattern emerged, revealing his identity without a doubt. This person, is he the sacred flame? Yun's heart trembled slightly as she spoke with some doubt. Something's not right. Xiao didn't answer, but the image of the 6th evil god from beyond the realms, as well as the blood-robed evil figure they had encountered earlier, echoed in his mind. What's going on here? This abyss is constantly devouring our strength. We can't stay here too long. But this man guarding the portal, what is he? In the distance, several strong individuals holding keys had also stopped, none of them daring to act rashly. Looking at the white-robed figure atop the ancient portal, greed flickered in their eyes. They were keenly perceptive and had already realized that this man was none other than the so-called Heavenly Tao reincarnation flame. Even so, none of them dared to make a move without understanding the situation. The Heavenly Tao reincarnation flame had boundless power, and anyone who obtained it would benefit for a lifetime. However, if one were to be corrupted by it, the consequences could easily lead to the destruction of both body and soul. Something feels off. The place was filled with fire slaves, and there was even a man in white robes who appeared to be emanating the Heavenly Tao reincarnation flame. However, their auras were so weak that they were almost negligible. "Xiao, let's go." Just as Xiao was puzzled, a tremendous roar echoed. Suddenly, a massive energy hand reached out from the void, heading straight toward Xiao and Yun. Crack! Xiao and Yun moved together, rushing towards the ancient portal in response to the low growl. Buzz buzz. As their bodies made contact with the ancient portal, no danger was transmitted. Instead, the portal slowly released an incredibly profound force, directed toward the broken map in Xiao hand and the key in Yun's hand. It seemed that the portal was checking whether they possessed the proper keys to enter the main hall. "Hee, this is just an illusion," said the Nether Sea Dragon Serpent, grinning. "It's probably some kind of spatial refractive force." The Six Paths reincarnation immortal truly lives up to the legend. "Where's the myriad venom goo maiden?" At the moment of inspection, Xiao spoke softly. "There are 5 keys. The girl beside you took one, I took one, and the remaining 3 were taken by powerful individuals skilled in different arts. The myriad venom goo maiden seems to have gone to another part of the cave. Her purpose is not here." Hearing this, the Nether Sea Dragon Serpent shook his head slightly, his gaze darkening with a hint of fierce hostility. Clearly, even he had underestimated the strength of the other powerful figures. "So, at the main hall, it's 3 against 4. That doesn't seem very favorable." Xiao furrowed his brows, his tone tinged with worry. "Don't worry, we'll definitely succeed this time," Yun said, her hand tightening around the divine artifact, a determined look in her eyes. Just as Xiao finished speaking, their bodies suddenly plunged into the portal, heading straight for the main hall of the Six Paths reincarnation immortal. The real drama, at this moment, was just beginning. Whoosh whoosh. After an experience that felt bizarre and surreal, Xiao and the others instantly arrived in a dark and desolate world. The world was so dim that one couldn't see their hand in front of their face, but faintly, they could feel an unprecedented pressure filling their hearts. "Xiao, look over there." Yun suddenly spoke, her voice filled with astonishment. Following her gaze, a magnificent and vast palace world slowly unfolded before them. The palace before them was 1,000 feet tall, yet it was unlike any ordinary palace. It was square-shaped, with the center of the palace resembling a sharp. At the top of the triangular ruins, a golden throne was completely formed by orange light. Seated upon the throne was a thin figure, quietly meditating. The figure's limbs radiated a strong soul power, as though they were merely in a deep slumber. Beside the figure sat another shadow, standing quietly. This figure was none other than the white-robed man they had seen earlier at the abyssal portal, the Heavenly Tao reincarnation flame. Beneath the triangular ruins, rows upon rows of fierce and brutal fire slaves gazed up at the golden throne in the center of the hall. In their eyes, there was a mixture of murderous intent and deep respect. "So, this Six Paths reincarnation immortal is?" The sacred flame blazed, illuminating the entire hall. At that moment, Xiao felt a chill in his heart. The nearly 100 fire slaves before him all emanated the power of the reincarnation stage. If they suddenly awakened, it would be disastrous. Moreover, the most unsettling part was that the Six Paths reincarnation immortal and the sacred flame figure on the golden throne radiated an aura that made Xiao feel extremely uneasy. Even the hellfire slave within him seemed to be trying to break free from its restraints. The fire slaves in the triangular ruins were arranged in an incredibly precise manner, almost as if they were part of some formation, suppressing and resisting something. What was even more unusual was that the entire hall was devoid of any evil aura, which left Xiao Yin feeling particularly disturbed. Had the sixth evil god already been eradicated? And what was the purpose of the blood-robed evil figure who had risked so much to enter here? What is this? Seeing the scene before him, even the nether sea dragon serpent couldn't help but gasp in shock. The main hall of the Six Paths Reincarnation Immortal was far too grand and eerie. Such a vast number of fire slaves could easily make any strong cultivator break into a cold sweat. Moreover, the fluctuations emanating from the man transformed by the heavenly Tao reincarnation flame suggested that he was at least a terrifying figure at the fourth reincarnation stage. "Let's move," the Nether Sea Dragon Serpent said after a brief pause. The words of the Nether Sea Dragon Serpent caused Xiao Yin to be slightly startled. However, the Nether Sea Dragon Serpent itself was well aware that it was impossible for it to devour the third-ranked Sacred Flame on the Sacred Flame ranking. If it rashly attempted to devour it, it would risk total annihilation. Given Xiao Yan's past ties with the demon realm, it was just a matter of repaying a favor. Wait. Xiao Yin made no move, simply raising his hand to shield the two, stepping back in unison with them. His gaze swept across the void in the great hall. "You useless fool." The void rippled, and Tang Feng's figure reappeared. As soon as he did, he locked eyes with Xiao Yin from afar, sneering with disdain. Swish, swish. One after another, 7 figures appeared in the main hall, and immediately the atmosphere in the entire hall grew strange. "Since none of you are willing to make a move, I'll take care of it." Bang! Tang Feng struck first, releasing a powerful surge of space-time energy from his palm. With a single strike, he aimed at the countless fire slaves on the triangular ruins. Buzz, buzz, buzz. The terrifying energy attack seemed incredibly powerful, yet it caused no substantial harm. Upon touching the triangular ruins, it was instantly extinguished as if a moth had flown into a flame. Seeing Tang Feng's actions, many of those present wore solemn expressions. These 3 ruins were likely no ordinary artifacts. Whoosh, whoosh, someone is coming. Just as everyone was puzzled, a profound, ancient aura slowly spread from the top of the ruins. Heavenly Tao reincarnation flame? Everyone's hearts trembled in unison. Greed, fear, and other uncontrollable emotions flooded their minds. The man in white beside the throne opened his eyes. His gaze held a divine, orange-golden flame that resembled a fire fox. With a cold, detached look, he glanced down at the 7 figures as if they were mere corpses. As the heavenly Tao reincarnation flame cast its gaze upon them, a chilling, ominous feeling spread within everyone's hearts. However, in pursuit of the mighty sacred flame, they forced themselves to remain calm and sneered. Heavenly Tao reincarnation flame, the great 1,000 worlds are in crisis. Hand over your original flame to me. I will lead you to become the strongest in this realm and enjoy endless reverence. Tang Feng's voice grew sharp and excited as he addressed the heavenly Tao reincarnation flame directly. Just you? You are unworthy. My master has always been the heavenly Tao reincarnation immortal, and only he. The cold voice of the heavenly Tao reincarnation flame sounded like the judgment of death, slowly shaking the hearts and minds of the powerful present. Humph! Stop with the pretenses. The heavenly Tao reincarnation immortal has long since perished countless years ago. You, as the third-ranked sacred flame on the sacred flame ranking, are willing to shrink here. Tang Feng seemed undeterred, speaking with growing enthusiasm. However, no one noticed the strange, intensifying fluctuations coming from within his arms. The other powerful figures hesitated, deciding to wait and see how the situation unfolded. A mere puppet from the human realm. How dare you lecture me like this? The heavenly Tao reincarnation flame sneered, and the buzzing orange flame spread like a vast ocean, instantly enveloping the entire main hall. All escape routes are completely blocked. It seems this guy is dead set on capturing us all in one go. The Nether Sea Dragon Serpent's expression grew exceptionally serious. The fluctuations emanating from the man in white indicated that any carelessness could cost them their lives. What's so strange about this main hall? Why can't I sense the presence of our Xiao clan's ancestors Or the sixth evil god from the extraterritorial evil clan? Xiao Yin furrowed his brow, spreading his spiritual power and other senses, but all efforts proved futile. Reluctantly, he shifted his gaze back to the heavenly Tao reincarnation flame. Oh! Noticing Xiao Yan's odd behavior, the man in white narrowed his eyes. Hand over the sacred flame seeds inside you too. Moments later, the gaze of the heavenly Tao reincarnation flame directly locked onto Xiao Yin and Yun Yun, who had remained silent. Both of them carried the sacred flame within them. To the sacred flame, the original sacred flame was a fatal attraction. Not to mention, Xiao Yin had 6 sacred flames within him, and Yun Yun carried a high-ranking sacred flame. The heavenly Tao reincarnation flame had long reached the realm of deep comprehension. It was desperately eager to claim the other 7 sacred flames in the hall. Could it be for the so-called 6th evil god? A wild, daring thought slowly emerged in Xiao Yan's mind. Upon hearing the words of the heavenly Tao reincarnation flame, the other 4 people suddenly broke into malicious grins. The 7 of them were all incredibly greedy for the sacred flame, and now that the heavenly Tao reincarnation flame had targeted Xiao Yin and Yun Yun, the remaining few were pleased. After all, both Xiao Yin and Yun Yun carried sacred flames. Being restrained by the heavenly Tao reincarnation flame was a very welcome development for the others. Xiao Yan's body radiated with a glimmering, glass-like sacred flame that hummed as it emerged. With a single step, his imposing aura clashed against the surrounding orange-golden energy, and there was an almost imperceptible surge of pride and unyielding determination emanating from him. At this moment, there was no choice but to face it head-on. Perhaps, he muttered. However, since you refuse to listen, I shall refine you into fire slaves, forever bound to guard this world. After all, once you enter this cave, there is no chance you will leave alive. I shall gladly accept the powers within your bodies. A cold smile appeared at the corner of the heavenly Tao reincarnation flame's mouth. With a slight wave of his hand, an invisible ripple spread throughout the air. The atmosphere inside the grand hall suddenly became strange. Fiery waves of intense, mysterious heat surged from the triangular ruins, spilling like mist over the countless fire slaves. In an instant, a violent, deathly aura swept over everyone's hearts. He's controlling these fire slaves. Once he activates them, our situation could become extremely dire. The fire spirit and hellfire slave suddenly appeared, flanking Xiao Yin. The fire spirit's delicate face tightened in concern, while the hellfire slave's eyes were fixed on the figure seated on the throne atop the ruins. The legendary figure, the 6 Paths reincarnation immortal, sat quietly upon the throne, exuding no aura, as if his body was that of a dying man. Crack! The sound of stiff, grinding movements echoed, and the countless fire slaves within the ruins slowly opened their eyes, releasing a long-forgotten, ancient aura. Your food has arrived. The heavenly Tao reincarnation flame smiled faintly. From within his body, an orange-golden fire fox, like a source of life, surged out, quickly spreading across the ruins. The powers surged like the tides of the rising sun. As the fire slaves absorbed the orange-golden fire fox's energy, an intense, searing heat capable of burning through all reincarnation and soul power gradually radiated from their bodies. The inexplicable fluctuation made the 7 of them realize, for the first time, just how close they were to death. Boom! The countless fire slaves opened their eyes, unleashing a terrifying aura that caused the entire hall's energy and space to distort. This is bad. The space is starting to change. At this moment, a chill flickered in Tang Feng's eyes. The heavenly Tao reincarnation flame's temperament was too strange, and his actions were difficult to predict. As he spoke, numerous orange-golden fire feathers suddenly burst from the ground of the palace, surrounding them in an instant. A red-hot, molten golden realm formed, like a prison of lava, cutting off all their escape routes. Boom! One by one, the fire slaves stepped out from the ruins, their eyes burning with murderous intent. The intense heat from the molten golden realm caused the faces of the 7 to become grave. I believe in you, Xiao Yan. Sensing Xiao Yan's restless spirit, Yun gently grasped the Taiji Heavenly Emperor sword with one hand, while her other hand quietly took hold of Xiao Yan's. Her eyes filled with tenderness. These fire slaves are off. Something's not right. Be careful. We need to fight back. At that moment, Xiao Yan's smile narrowed into a determined grin, and the ferocious voice finally broke through. Since the heavenly Tao reincarnation flame wanted to strip him of his sacred flame, there was no reason to hold back any longer. Based on the aura of the sacred flame, these fire slaves' powers seem unusual. Bang, bang, bang. With a series of harsh, grating sounds, 10 fire slaves encircled Xiao Yan, their eyes filled with an insatiable greed, as if they wanted to devour everything. The faint, orange-golden fire fox swirled around their bodies, and the powerful fluctuations emanating from them made Xiao Yan's face darken. The power of the third sacred flame, though only a tiny ember, radiated a pressure that even someone as strong as Xiao Yan could not withstand. Bang! With a single clash, a numbing sensation spread through Xiao Yan's arm. Despite the fire slaves not being able to use Do techniques, their sheer physical strength alone was enough to match Xiao Yan's own. These fire slaves cannot use any Do techniques, yet their physical prowess is so formidable. This doesn't make sense. Wait, are you saying this power comes from the Six Paths Reincarnation Immortal? While defending against the relentless attacks of the fire slaves, Xiao Yan faintly discovered something through the Hell Fire Slave's memories. The glow of a firefly trying to rival the brightness of the full moon? Refined. Watching the intense battle unfolding in the molten golden realm below, the heavenly Tao reincarnation flame slowly shook his head. Buzz. As the voice of the heavenly Tao reincarnation flame faded, a starry pattern emerged on the bodies of the 10 fire slaves surrounding Xiao Yan. 10 rising stars connected, and an incomparable binding force attempted to completely restrain all the power within Xiao Yan's body. With this level of power, you think you can refine me? Seeing this, a glaze-colored flame and gray thunder erupted within Xiao Yan's body, like a starry fox flashing into being, resisting the overwhelming binding force. Dragon God Claw. Under the protection of both energies, Xiao Yan's body shimmered with a strange energy. He flickered like a phantom and struck out with a claw, instantly shattering the stellar cage. At the same time, a deep buzzing explosion rang out. The 10 fire slaves trembled slightly before being crushed and reduced to a cloud of blood mist by the powerful attack. The blood mist drifted in midair, exuding a chilling, bloodthirsty aura, as if some creature were slowly crawling within. This guy. After eliminating the 10 fire slaves in front of him, Xiao Yan's gaze slowly turned to the unmoving heavenly Tao reincarnation flame amidst the ruins. This creature was his true target. Moreover, from what he could tell, the heavenly Tao reincarnation flame didn't possess the spirit of the sacred flame, but it had already crowned itself king. To subdue it, Xiao Yan would most likely need to defeat it. Sure. Xiao Yan. These fire slaves are immortals. Be careful. Just as doubts flashed across Xiao Yan's mind, Yun's cold and anxious voice suddenly rang out from behind, coming from the crimson fire gold realm. Boom. With Yun's warning, the eerie aura in front of him, now reduced to blood mist, suddenly trembled, and a more intense fluctuation than before erupted. 5th reincarnation stage? At this moment, a wave of uncontrollable fear and coldness swept over Xiao Yan's bloodline and soul. The blood mist formed by the 10 fire slaves was actually capable of reuniting, and once gathered, it transformed into an even more terrifying fire slave. An immortal body? A 5th reincarnation stage? Peak fire slave? Was this existence beyond even the 6 paths reincarnation puppets? What's going on? The dragon scales on Xiao Yan's body stood on end as a wave of unease and fear spread throughout his heart. Sure. The blood mist shuddered, and a pale figure emerged, with the residual blood mist instantly evaporated by an orange-gold fire fox. The flame of the heavenly Tao reincarnation flame? In this instant, the dragon scales on Xiao Yan's body emitted a low hum, and even the sacred flame within him burst forth with an unprecedented aura of pride and defiance. The The sacred flame resisted, exuding an endless madness, gathering the power of 6 sacred flames, even though it couldn't match the 3rd sacred flame. As the noble and proud nature of sacred flames, how could they bow their heads and surrender? Bang! 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 The blood mist was vaporized, and the gazes of the other 6 immediately sharpened. Although many fire slaves surrounded them, none of them used such thunderous means as Xiao to directly obliterate the fire slaves. This Xiao, his strength can't be underestimated. But after this, I'm afraid we'll see a good show. The remaining 4, while dealing with their respective fire slaves, exchanged looks full of schadenfreude as they observed Xiao. The fusion-type fire slaves, imbued with the power of the heavenly Tao reincarnation flame, were as strong as a human at the 5th reincarnation stage. This terrifying existence was enough to truly obliterate Xiao here. My king, I will deal with these guys. As for that one, it's just a pity for the 2 sacred flame controllers. By combining the sacred flames within their bodies, we should be able to imprison him for a while. The heavenly Tao reincarnation flame respectfully spoke to the man on the throne, its gaze then locking onto Xiao. It seemed like only he understood everything here. Outsiders only knew that the 6 Paths Reincarnation Hall was an unparalleled treasure trove filled with sacred flames, but whether it was a treasure or a bottomless abyss, no one could say for sure. The heavenly Tao reincarnation flame lowered its head indifferently, its voice cold. Flame slave, do it. Eradicate him. The strange voice rang out, and immediately the flame slave in front of Xiao eyes flashed with an orange-gold firelight in its eyes. The sacred flame battle. I really miss it. Xiao smiled slightly, a wicked and frenzied curve forming on his lips. His body glowed with 6 colored sacred flames, dazzling beyond measure. Intruder, die. When the last word of the flame slave fell, a soul-shaking roar erupted, carrying with it an eerie, indescribable fluctuation that swept outward. Soul storm. Xiao showed no fear. With Bashia's dragon scales protecting him, the 6-colored sacred flames rotated, and his 7-layered spiritual palace stirred. A vast tidal wave surged in the void, erupting suddenly. An invisible soul force spread out, and the terrifying spiritual energy rippled through his mind like an invisible hurricane, causing even Tang Feng and the others to feel a chill down their spines. The Nether Sea Dragon Serpent struck out with a palm, forcing the fire slave before him back. He then gazed in disbelief at the battle taking place in the sky, where Xiao was locked in a fierce duel with the formidable flame slave. The soul power of the spirit wandering realm was something that, without immense fortune, one could never hope to reach in a lifetime. A soul storm erupted, sweeping across the sky like an invisible hurricane. The clash that followed shook the very void of the red fire golden realm, reverberating through the space. Tidal waves of soul energy surged forth, their terrifying fluctuations causing the entire space to tremble, as if all other forces paled in comparison to this level of soul combat. Heavenly Tao Reincarnation Finger. At the moment this soul collision occurred, a vast amount of energy rapidly gathered in the area where the flame slave stood. The space there compressed like a heartbeat, before exploding outward in a dazzling flare of flame, resembling a fiery burst of fireworks. In the center of the void, the flame slave raised his hand, gently pointing at Xiao. Countless orange-gold fire patterns swirled around his fingertip, which contained a destructive power unlike any other. Top-tier immortal arts? At that instant, a wave of dread echoed in Xiao mind. It seemed that the flame slave's finger could bring about the extinction of all things. This was a top-tier immortal art empowered by the 3rd-level sacred flame, a technique of such overwhelming might that it could almost defy belief. Taiji Heavenly Emperor Slash. In an instant, the graceful figure of a lone flower flickered, and a silver divine sword appeared, drawing an elegant arc through the void. The holy yet fierce aura emanating from it resembled a legendary beast creeping forward. Boom! The moment the finger and sword collided, a sharp, ear-piercing flash of light exploded throughout the red fire golden realm. The 5 surrounding figures rapidly retreated, none daring to approach the strange power released from the clash. Are you crazy? Xiao Yan's eyes flashed with deep affection and concern as he held Yun Yun's delicate body in his arms. Despite his serious expression, his voice was gentle. At this moment, much of Yun Yun's delicate gown had been torn away by the flame slave's finger, revealing a patch of snow-white skin. She looked a little disheveled, even with the Taiji Heavenly Emperor sword as his guide, resisting the powerful finger of the flame slave, who was at the 5th reincarnation stage, almost resulted in serious injury. Cough cough. I just want to help you. Yun Yun's chest heaved violently, as though she tried to muster the strength to rise. But after a few struggles, she quietly lay against Xiao Yan's chest. Stay here. Nether Sea Dragon Serpent, please take care of her. Xiao Yan spoke, his eyes filled with a madness he could no longer suppress. He could no longer hold back. The powers within the Red Fire Golden Realm were constantly devouring their already limited reincarnation energy. If they continued to stalemate like this, everyone might end up trapped here forever. Finally going all out, huh? The other 4 people watching Xiao Yan's enraged expression narrowed their eyes and fixed their gaze on him. Since you are the flame slave, let's see whose flames are stronger. A cold smile curled on Xiao Yan's face as his body floated in midair. He suddenly reached out with a claw toward the void. Whether it was soul power or another force, the vast expanse of the Red Fire Golden Realm suddenly exploded. A burst of multicolored energy liquids poured out. 6 types of liquid, resembling 6 completely different types of molten flames, emerged, immediately dropping the temperature in the entire hall to an icy low. These are all sacred flames? Someone in the group gasped in astonishment, the greedy look in their eyes slowly being replaced by shock. The power of sacred flames was ferocious and extremely elusive. Xiao Yan's body contained not just one but several of them. 6 sacred flames. This guy is truly a monster. It's a pity there's that guy in the cave. This time, we'll probably all perish here. As they watched the 6-colored sacred flame molten liquid swirl around Xiao Yan's body, the sarcastic glint in the heavenly Tao reincarnation flame's eyes slowly faded, and with a glance at the old figure beside him, his expression turned to one of regret. Before Xiao Yan, a seemingly ordinary fire-shaped cauldron began to appear in front of him. As Xiao Yan activated his burning technique, the cauldron slowly levitated, emitting a light that seemed out of place in this world. The 6 sacred flame molten liquids flowed into the fire cauldron, merging into a beautiful fire river that surged forth. At the moment it emerged, a strange, chilling aura slowly began to seep from the depths of the triangular ruins in the hall. The dark mist was cold and eerie, and as it appeared, the atmosphere was filled with a strange, unsettling emotional vibration. This was clearly an extraterritorial scent. 7 Realms Divine Artifact? Flame God's Cauldron? Seeing Xiao Yan's actions, the heavenly Tao reincarnation flame's body trembled with excitement. A surge of joy instantly filled his mind. The sacred flame river surged, but was instantly suppressed and solidified by the black mist, rendering Xiao Yan's body immobile. The black mist surged, carrying with it a strange emotional fluctuation, slowly transforming into a black light column. The light column shimmered with endless brilliance, giving off an unusually cold and eerie aura. What exactly is this thing? As the black light column emerged, the remaining fire slaves in the triangular ruins grew quiet. However, an endless flow of black mist seeped from them, eventually merging with the black light column hanging in midair in the grand hall, leaving not a trace behind. With every flow of light around the black column, it carried an eerie emotional wave, anger, sorrow, and more. The chilling and bizarre atmosphere filled the entire palace. The fire slaves also fell silent, as even the fire slaves near the other 6 individuals seemed to lose all vitality in an instant, standing motionless in midair. The black light column swung, like an unstoppable heavenly curtain descending, about to crush Xiao Yan beneath it. Get back! In that critical moment, the figure dressed in a white robe of the heavenly Tao reincarnation flame moved, rising from the top of the triangular ruins and instantly appearing before Xiao Yan. Brilliant orange-golden light erupted, pushing the black light column aside. Vroom vroom. Even the heavenly Tao reincarnation flame's intervention only managed to push the black light column aside. It seemed unable to completely expel it. Even the third-ranked sacred flame's power could not dispel or purify this aura. Boy, are you courting death? Looking at Xiao Yan's strange actions, the heavenly Tao reincarnation flame turned and scolded. Senior, this must be the remnant power of that evil god, right? Xiao Yan's lips curled into a smile, as if he had thought of a good solution. Yes, and what of it? That's not something you need to know. The heavenly Tao reincarnation flame's gaze grew dark as he raised his white finger, pointing heavily at the black light column. Suddenly, an orange-golden fire burst out from his fingertip. Though it was only the size of a thumb, it emitted a powerful ancient aura wherever it passed. The orange fire finger was incredibly fast. As soon as it appeared, it sealed off the space around the black light column, preventing it from drawing any more evil energy from the triangular ruins to replenish itself. However, the black light column seemed to possess some kind of intelligence. It vibrated in an instant, sending waves of black mist spreading outward, as if summoning something. Bang! 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 At this life and death moment, a strange disturbance emanated from the throne, which had been eerily silent until now. Boom! A surge of immense evil black energy poured out from the black light column and the triangular ruins below, quickly enveloping the throne. The man on the throne, who had been like a living corpse with his eyes shut for countless years, suddenly showed the slightest hint of a pulse. Glurp! At this moment, whether it was Xiao Yan, Yun Yun, or Tang Feng, their faces were icy cold as they stared at the scene before them, their expressions grave beyond measure. If the Six Paths reincarnation immortal were to awaken, it would be a true catastrophe for them. Because the current Six Paths reincarnation immortal was likely already fully corrupted by evil energy, transformed into a member of the extraterritorial evil clan. Once awakened, the only possible outcome for the strong ones present would be destruction here. Senior, at this point, do we still hesitate? Xiao Yan took a deep, cold breath, his gaze alert. Then, his palm clenched tightly, and the fire spirit cauldron hovered in the air, releasing a terrifying aura. He turned and spoke directly to the heavenly Tao reincarnation flame. The Seven Realms divine artifact, the Flame God's Cauldron, is certainly powerful, but your strength is too weak. With our current power, we can't handle it. The heavenly Tao reincarnation flame's eyes grew cold as he looked at the man on the throne, his expression complex. The Six Paths reincarnation immortal controlled the third sacred flame and eradicated the sixth evil god of the extraterritorial. A powerhouse like that deserves the respect of anyone in the great thousand worlds. Now, in this situation, I believe even the Six Paths reincarnation immortal wouldn't want to see his body corrupted by evil after death. As the controller of the sacred flame, even if it costs me my life, I am willing to exert all my strength to eradicate this evil god. Even if I risk everything, I want to ensure this senior has a good resting place. Xiao Yan's voice was filled with calm pride. His gaze locked directly on the heavenly Tao reincarnation flame. Having grown for so long, even though he did not yet possess the strength to face the evil god head-on, if he hesitated now, it would be the same as digging his own grave. The evil god's power? He carried immortality within him, and the pride of the Xiao clan bloodline flowed through his veins. This battle was inevitable. This cave has already been fully controlled by it. Once it awakens, we will all perish here. This guy's conduct is exactly the same as that of the Six Paths reincarnation immortal, but what he doesn't know is the overwhelming power of the sixth extraterritorial evil god, a force capable of shaking the very heavens and earth. Even with the Six Paths reincarnation immortal and himself combined, they had barely won in the past. Now that the Six Paths have fallen, though the evil god is heavily wounded, the heavenly Tao reincarnation flame still dares not take the risk. If the sixth evil god is successfully revived, the calamity brought by such a powerful being is unimaginable. By then, he would most likely become an eternal sinner in the great thousand worlds. Senior, Your hesitation is merely due to concern that the evil power might spill over, causing a ripple across the great thousand worlds. I possess 6 sacred flames, along with the flame god's cauldron and other methods. I wish to make a deal with you, Xun'er. Seeing that the heavenly Tao reincarnation flame had yet to take any action, Xiao urged directly. We can't wait any longer. Delay will bring unforeseen changes. What deal? The heavenly Tao reincarnation flame also felt a tinge of fear. Previously, it had planned to devour Xiao and the others' powers, intending to use them to stabilize the barriers suppressing the evil god. But now, Xiao power clearly held the slim hope of eliminating the evil god. Yet, that hope was truly too small. If we succeed in slaying the 6th evil god, I hope, Xun'er, you will give me your origin power. With the flame mantra and the 3rd sacred flame, it is extremely important to me. Xiao spoke with unwavering determination, each word deliberate. Now, Xiao truly had that arrogance. The 6th evil god, who had been suppressed by the 6 paths reincarnation immortal for countless cycles, was a mere opponent in Xiao eyes. He still believed there was a chance to defeat it. And if we lose? The heavenly Tao reincarnation flame asked in return. In truth, when Xiao made this proposal, the heavenly Tao reincarnation flame already had an idea in mind. If we lose, I will say nothing of this matter. Moreover, as a descendant of the Xiao clan, I am willing to trigger the 6 sacred flames to form the sacred flame dimension, permanently suppressing this place in place of you, Xun'er. Xiao voice was extremely arrogant, yet to the heavenly Tao reincarnation flame, it carried a unique, almost magical power. Good. Then I will accompany you in this madness. Ha ha ha.